Good day, Miss. We are Group 3. I am Leila Ventura, and this is Edward Choco. We are here today to present the difference between a conceptual framework and a theoretical framework, as well as our conceptual framework for our study about utang na loob. First, let's talk about conceptual framework. According to Emenda in 2014, a conceptual framework is when bits of individual evidences are synthesized together to create a bigger map of the possible relationships between the concepts used in a study. While according to Kibuncha, in 2018, he mentioned that it is the overall logical orientation of the structure and implementation of a research study, as well as specifying what methods, procedures, and instruments in data analysis will be used to draw out conclusions and recommendations. Moreover, a conceptual framework can help researchers predict the outcome of the phenomenon that they are studying. For our case, the conceptual framework will guide us throughout the research project from problem formulation to data analysis and interpretation, ultimately contributing to the advancement of knowledge in our field. Now, I will pass the mic to Edward for the theoretical framework.
Now, according to Janssen, a theoretical framework is a set of definitions and concepts that form structured explanations for a certain phenomenon. It was also explained by Vince that it serves as the theoretical basis of a research study, and it uses pre-existing related studies or theories that support the structure of a new study. From this, we could conclude that theoretical frameworks rest upon already existing theories that are closely related to the variables that are included in the study, giving it a valid structure. Moreover, it focuses more on underlying theories that would explain the phenomenon that is being studied and explain the relationship of the actual variables to it. And now that we have explained the differences between the two, we would now be explaining the similarities between conceptual and theoretical framework.
So, both conceptual and theoretical frameworks are used to determine how the researchers will formulate their problem, how they will investigate the problem, as well as what current data contributes to their investigation, meaning they ensure that the research is well defined and builds upon existing knowledge in the field.
Both are also used interchangeably in research literature by observing what specific concepts interrelate with a specific theory. This would mean that these two frameworks are used to give the study more validity, as it uses well known theories as its foundation, as well as how the relationship of their variables and concepts rest upon the aforementioned theories. And this is why they are used interchangeably in research literature. And now we would be explaining our conceptual framework.
So our independent variable, which is utang na loob, has a functional relationship with the mediating variable, which is cultural orientation, meaning it influences each other, hence the double-headed arrow. It also explains the Western societies who are individualistic and are not obligated to give back to their parents, unlike Asian societies who are collectivist and are required to give back to their parents. Moreover, the independent variable, which is utang na loob, and the mediating variable, which is cultural orientation, determines the practice and perceptions of utang na loob, which is our dependent variable. For the second part of the framework, it will be explained by Edward.
And from the dependent variable, or the perception and practice of utang na loob, three themes, which were also mentioned in the abstract, are reciprocity, familial relationship, and financial capacity. These themes are the expected factors on why there is a change on Gen Z's and millennials' perception on the practice of utang na loob. Now, firstly, reciprocity, because not all Gen Zs and millennials believe that what was given to them must be given back in full, which is related to the second theme, which is familial relationship. This would mean that whether Gen Zs and millennials are close to their families can influence whether they reciprocate the utang na loob. And finally, the financial capacity, which would entail whether they have the resources or the wealth to be able to give back what was given unto them. And that is all for our conceptual framework. And here is our references. Thank you, and that is all for the report of Group 3.